The man fired a nail straight into his son's head, yet Tom, who had collapsed to the ground, miraculously came back to life. The nail that had been shot into him was expelled from his body, and there was not even a scar left behind. Tom was utterly confused, having no idea what had happened, let alone why his father would do such a thing.
However, Jonathan's explanation made Tom feel as if he were dreaming.
Jonathan explained that this was a legendary superpower, one that had already been passed down for 3 generations. When Jonathan was very young, he inherited this ability from Tom's grandfather and had kept it hidden ever since. Now, he had finally passed the superpower on to his own son, Tom. But before Tom could even feel happy about it, he suddenly discovered that the money in his wallet was gone. It turned out that every time the superpower was used, it consumed money, and the more money it consumed, the stronger the power became.
Moreover, once the ability was passed on, it could never be taken back, binding its bearer like an inescapable fate. The only way out was to pass it on to the next generation.
Worse still, Tom would no longer be able to run or jump in the future, otherwise the superpower would be triggered and the cash on him would be deducted.
Tom and his girlfriend had originally been saving up to buy a house, but now things had become even worse.
In Tom's eyes, this ability felt more like a curse. To prevent his son from going bankrupt, the meticulous father even introduced Tom to a loan company. In the days that followed, Tom dared not carry too much cash when going out and walked cautiously, carefully controlling his pace. Even if he was about to be late for work, he absolutely could not rush. When he saw people in need of help, Tom no longer stepped in. Although his conscience troubled him, at least his money was not decreasing. But soon, as Tom's cold indifference and inaction continued, the curse of the superpower began to manifest. Chickenpox suddenly started to appear all over Tom's body.
One day, his mother asked to meet him and brought along some good news.
But before she could say a word, she noticed the chickenpox on Tom's body. She immediately recognized it as exactly the same condition Tom's father had suffered from years ago. However, she knew nothing about the superpower and assumed it was merely a hereditary family illness, which did not really matter. She took out a brown paper bag containing a full 30 million in cash, intended as the down payment for Tom's house. Previously, in order to save money, Tom's father had stayed at home for more than 20 years without going out. Now that the superpower had been passed on to Tom, he sold the old house and planned to take Tom's mother traveling around. Thinking of this, Tom immediately set off, preparing to deposit the money at the bank. On the way, he called his girlfriend, intending to share the good news.
But before he could say anything, an accident occurred.
A truck lost control of its brakes and crashed wildly along the road. Although it eventually came to a stop, a bus was now facing the danger of falling due to the impact. In that instant, Tom did not even have time to think and reacted purely on instinct. At the same time, the blisters on his body slowly disappeared along with the cash he was carrying.